Welcome to Adults Only Comedy Berlin. Today we have Tera Kilbride.
Hey guys.
Hey. Nice to have you back. We've done 2 episodes already, right?
I think we have done 2 episodes.
Yeah. We did one when I lived in Wedding, one at the Wall Comedy Club, and we're again recording at the Wall Comedy Club.
Yes.
Soon to be world famous. Please make this venue world famous.
We're in the world famous, messy, nasty green room of the Wall Comedy Club. You can't see it now, but it's fantastic. There are signatures of semi-famous people everywhere.
Semi-famous is really generous.
It's very generous. Yet I want to boost up this club so hard.
All right. Yep, there's also like a pipe that's covered with plastic that kind of breathes occasionally.
This is probably the scene of a horror film about ready to unfold.
Yeah. Also, there's a bottle of orange liqueur vodka that I finished last night.
Ooh.
Directly to my mouth after a German show because it went that well.
Nice. It's got everything you need. Wall Comedy Club.
I don't have problems with alcohol.
I just have problems with German comedy. No, we love all comedy.
I love German comedy.
Yes.
I love doing it. And I do just like drinking. I just have a lot of fun when I drink.
That's amazing.
You're still completely sober?
Yeah, you know what? I have recently upgraded, and I know your listeners may not be impressed, but I'm impressed with myself. I've recently started drinking non-alcoholic wine. And not the grape juice shit, but the stuff that has actually been distilled that really tastes like I'm having a delicious treat, and I feel so fucking fancy.
I love it. When I was sober for the year, there was a comedian in the scene. She's now moved to a little small town, but her grandfather actually established the process of making non-alcoholic wine.
Oh.
And and his name was Carl Jung.
What? Not the same Jung.
Not the same, but exactly the same spelling. And he
cool.
invented the distillation process or for non-alcoholic wine.
I mean, that process is good because that shit tastes amazing.
Yeah, it's
like
beautiful.
I actually do feel like quite good while drinking it.
Yeah, me
I don't
too.
feel like a douchebag.
Yeah,
who hates fun.
Yeah. Why would you feel like a douchebag?
Well, I mean, the grape juice shit makes you kind of feel like a douchebag naturally. But the non-alcoholic wine actually goes through the distillation process, so it has all the full flavors.
It does.
That you would want in a sparkling wine.
I think that makes you more of a wanker, really.
Yeah, it's kind of like very LA, isn't it? Like, oh, I'm not doing alcohol, but I'm doing non-alcoholic sparkling wine with all the sugar removed. You know, it's
Did you see my crystals? Exactly.
They're in my yoni, actually. So you can't actually see them right now. But I am doing some sweet Kegels. Oh, wow. This is turning into, who does that? It's not, and that's like Gwyneth Paltrow. She's the evil one. Ooh.
She's the egg.
She's the yoni egg lady.
Yoni egg lady. I had a whole bit about it. One of my earliest bits. I think I put it on YouTube because I'm proud. I love the bit.
Nice.
But yeah, talking about her whole
Yoni
thing
egg.
of actually her whole thing of that you should clean your vagina. That you need to douche
that
it.
it's dirty.
And I was like, blah.
Oh, let's perpetuate that. Yeah,
No,
Christianity
no.
has done enough damage on that. Yeah.
I'll rinse it out. You know, I've got a little like portable bidet. You know, like a little like it's not like an anal douche because that that goes inside. It's just something that you put down and you just like you fill it up and you just squeeze it and it sprays water onto your parts.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, and I got it during the pandemic, the first lockdown, because of all the toilet paper fear. And so my housemates and I were like, why don't we get a bidet style thing so we save on toilet paper?
Yeah, great on your period too, right?
Great on everything, really.
Right.
It's like, why, like this, a lot of Asian cultures do pose the question, you call yourself civilized when you just wipe your poo hole with paper. Like, that's not enough.
No.
Why aren't you using water?
Yeah.
Isn't the ideal situation having wet ones, or even better, like a running water?
Right. Cleanliness is a big thing. This is getting back to my recent adventures. Recently was with someone who's like super shaved and super clean.
You were with who?
Someone.
No,
okay.
I thought you said a woman. I was like, ooh.
No, I know everyone's waiting for that, but no, it hasn't happened yet.
I'm not waiting for it. I just thought you said that. That's all.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not pushing you into lesbianism, Tara.
No, Berlin's doing that, yeah.
Everyone keeps suggesting things with us as well.
I kind of like that. I like to perpetuate it.
It's fun.
Great marketing. But no, I don't think it's going to happen. We're both too professional.
That's the reason.
Yeah.
And like penises.
And maybe, I really like penises. I really like penetration. Even with like queer watching stuff, I like the penetration.
Yeah. So anyway, you were with someone who was very shaved.
Oh, very clean. Just like very like, I don't even know how you do that without like a proper, I don't know how it was
with
accomplished.
With an actual razor, I think. That's the only way you get that. Like they do throat and the beard, and then they just go downstairs and they keep
really
going.
with like a flat. Oh man,
with like an actual razor. Yeah,
I have way more respect for that now. Now it's like, oh yeah, like you don't fear danger, and you also care a little bit. Oh, that's kind of.
I don't know that. Like the thing is, okay. I recently saw a Tinder profile with a guy and I was impressed, and I think I talked about it actually in the last podcast. But basically, he was like, my favorite thing to do is to smoke a joint and then to eat a well-shaved pussy for 2 hours minimum. And I'm like, that's too long. But also I was thinking about like a well-shaved, and I know exactly what he means. It means like there is no hair, like it's shaved like a man has cleanly shaved his beard.
Right.
That kind of shaved pussy.
Right. I understand that. Yeah.
And I don't like when I worked at the kindergarten, I stopped liking being fully, like I used to use like a cream, but like working at the kindergarten, seeing these little girls' fannies, and then in the British English, not American, but seeing their little vagina, little flaps, the little labia completely clean. It's like when I saw it on myself, the next time I did it, when a guy was like, oh, I thought you'd be like a clean shaved pussy kind of girl. So I did it, and then I was like, oh my God, I'm a child.
I have like I have a weird special preference where like the parts where the mouth is going to be closest to, I will get those nice and clean. And I will really, I'm even starting to shave a little bit between my butt crack because there's a little bit there now.
Oh, I removed the hair there.
All that is gone. But then on the front, on like the vulva area, it's just really close to the surface. There's just a little bit to know that I'm a grown person.
Exactly. That's how I like to keep it. But then it tends to grow a little bit. So it usually gets to maybe like almost 1 centimeter. Just before 1 centimeter, then I trim it back again.
Yeah. We're on the same page. High five.
Woo!
I mean, we support all types of.
Exactly.
But the whole, I don't know.
Well, no one supports my bush. We discovered that.
No one supports the big bush.
No.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't been with women, but I would imagine I would maybe not like that.
I think, honestly,
some people are into it.
But when so you were with this person who was really clean shaved. You liked that.
I like that a lot. I was so much more willing to do more things because of that. Yes, I was willing. I was like, yes. Because I don't want to put hairy balls in my mouth. I want to put nice, smooth, clean ones. Yeah. Some people really like the hair. I think it's a weird thing. I know a married couple where it's just like I love her shaved legs. Like they're sort of woodsy people. They're woodsy they're woodsy Minnesota people. They're listening to Bon Iver all the time and doing like 10 hours of foreplay, which is like she's making soup and he's strumming the guitar. Those kind of people. Yeah. But for me, that's just not my thing. Like
hairiness. I will happily put hairy balls in my mouth. It doesn't slow me down at all, but they need to have a good, like they do. The thing is, shaved balls can still be sweaty.
Oh sure, yeah.
It doesn't stop the sweatiness.
Yeah, they need a ball dip, like the bidet. They just need a ball dip where they can just dip them in the.
That exists. There's a ball jacuzzi.
It's called the ball jacuzzi. Oh, is there bubblies? Does it bubble? Does it think it bubbles? Tantalize them and get them?
And I've even heard that this ball jacuzzi. I had a note to myself to verify this.
The ball jacuzzi,
but that it actually makes a man shoot blanks.
Oh,
for the night.
I need to get my hands on that ball jacuzzi.
Right?
Yeah. It scares them a little bit, rattles them up inside, and then.
But I think this is false news. I think this is fake news.
It's got to be fake news.
But wouldn't that just be the thing, right? That like we have to take hormone treatment, and men just get a jacuzzi for their balls.
They just go to the ball spa. Yeah. That's amazing.
Get a spa treatment in order to have a contraceptive. I'm like, where's our clit jacuzzi?
Oh yeah, where's the clit jacuzzi?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so that was a discovery for you, that clean shaven makes you more lean more in and be more willing.
Yeah. And the clit, I don't think a clit jacuzzi would do it for me. Like, I mean, we're talking about different preferences.
I want like a clit tidal wave.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't like a gentle like licking thing. I don't even like someone was talking about like a sucker, and I'm like, I just want like a nice I want you to like push it, push it, stroke it, push it real good. It's a little bit of firmness. Like I don't want like a delicate little lick. I don't want bubbles, and I don't want someone to suck on it. I don't.
No. I'm with you on all these things. Yeah.
Maybe we should be together.
Maybe. We'd have transferable skills with one another.
Yeah.
But I'm really glad you got some D.
Yeah, thank you. I feel very proud of myself.
Yeah, there was a bit of a dry patch you mentioned.
There was a very bit of a dry patch, and to the point where I was starting to like doubt myself, and I was like, really, I was like, I should either make a porn or hire a sex worker, and I didn't. you know, maybe make a porn because then you'd get a little money involved and you could probably pick someone and.
Yeah.
But you know, no, it was really good. And I remember like when we hooked up too, like he was just like, I wasn't gonna, you know, like the first or I think it was maybe the second time we met, and I was like, oh no, dude, you stood no chance. Like
like you weren't gonna not
you weren't
be able
gonna
to.
Yeah, it wasn't so
we were gonna
nice.
bone no matter what.
Yeah, we were going to.
And how did you meet the person?
I was traveling. Yes, so I went. Yeah, I was traveling, and so and I was staying with a friend. Me and my best girlfriend Allison and I traveled. We were classy fucking ladies. That's where I got this dress.
That's beautiful.
And we treated ourselves really well. We got COVID pricing for all the hotels, so we were having a really nice day. And we were eating all this amazing food. We were doing, you know, seeing museums. We were being very classy ladies. And then one night we were the most trashiest Americans. We went to an Irish pub, and she met some guys from the UK, and she got really stoned and drunk. And I fucked a guy outside.
High five, baby.
All on the same day.
That's so beautiful.
So
Against
beautiful.
what did you fuck? Like, what was paint the setting?
Well, there was like what do you call it? Like a cement ledge or whatever. And there was some against that. But then I was like a little too close for comfort. But yeah, the ocean was definitely in the background. And then we went against a wall, and then we ended up hiding in the trees like a couple of animals, and then people started walking their dogs, and that was really fun, and we had to stop periodically. And then
so is that like him behind you, or you guys like standing and fucking?
Yeah, standing front and then flipping and then lots of other things that aren't just, you know, normal, you know, stuff, and it was amazing. You're
sober this whole time, so I find this fantastic.
Oh, good, thank you.
I like, because the number of, you know, to have the guts to really, you know, do in public sex with someone that you've really just met.
Yeah.
And to have the right energy, like those stars were beautifully aligned.
Right.
Is that how you feel about it, or?
I do. Well, it was funny because Allison was like, I think you're going to hook up on this trip. And she's like kind of become an optimist. Like there were times where she wasn't, but I really appreciate that about her. And what she brings to our friendship is that she brings a sense of like grounded optimism. And I was just like, bullshit. And then of course it totally happened. Yeah.
And then you've stayed in contact with this person.
Yeah. And, you know, I think we were both like really thirsty. So it's like a line. Like I think I had like 4 strikeouts the month before.
Like dates that just went nowhere?
Not even dates, but like me putting the strong feelers out and having someone not be into it. And if you're not thirsty, or if you're only kind of thirsty, again, I don't really want to waste my time. You know, if I can tell, you're already, you know, it probably just had sex last night, or you're in with, so it's like, I'm just not as interested, you know, like I really want that hunger, and I'd rather wait for it and have it be really awesome than just have like a haphazard sort of, okay, sure, we can do this sort of thing. That's just me. I'm a Scorpio, so I need that intensity. I guess.
We're both Scorpios.
What? Shut the fuck up. We're married. We're clearly getting married. We're getting married. What's your moon sign? This is important.
What can it be? I forget. I did it recently.
What can it be? Whatever you want it to be is what you meant to say. No, like
is it a planet? Like could it be Pluto?
No. It's just like the other signs, but it's like Libra, Cancer. I'm a full moon.
Exactly. I'm like sand. Yeah. I did my birth chart recently because I went on a date with a guy who was really into astrology. Oh. Puerto Rican guy, Brazilian. I don't know. He was very confusing, but but he was really into astrology, and he was like, what was the time of your birth? Do you know your birth charts? Do you know all this stuff? I was like, well, I'll ask my mom. And then I gave him the stuff, and then he like did the research.
Oh, wow.
Sent me all this stuff.
Oh, that's
but I
before you met.
Yeah, it was before we met.
Okay.
And then we had a date, and then but I got really like I had a really big night the night before our date, and I almost woke up and I was supposed to meet him in an hour, and I was like, can we make it half an hour later? And he was like, are you okay? I'm like, I had a unintentionally massive night, can we? Yeah. And he was like, yeah, no problem. And then we met, and I was destroyed, and then I ended up being really sick that day after the date. But anyway, he wanted to meet up, and then he was texting me, and I was just busy, and he got really intense. Anyway,
really?
He's a Scorpio.
Well, you know, anyone who's into astrology is probably a bit intense, who wants to run your whole chart. I mean, it was kind of a nice investment, right? It's a talking point, right?
It was nice. Sorry, no, he wasn't a Scorpio. I think he was a Taurus.
Okay.
Yeah.
I say that like like I'm so Well, I did live in San Francisco for a while. You have to admit, where it's just like,
Yeah.
you know, like,
come on, we're white women. It's part of our
exactly.
It's part of it. Like, you know, some people have Christianity. We have astrology.
Yeah.
You know?
There was just a lot of like, you know, conscious, intentional relationships and processes.
And I would look up every person I was ever into. I would look up the compatibility and love signs. Linda Goodrum, it's love signs, and I would check and I would do all the research about it. Yeah.
I don't like that pigeonholes my, because I think I got into it when I was in like high school, and I fully believed it.
Me too.
And then it sort of pigeonholes me. It's like, oh, this ex was the right one for me, or this person cannot work out, and oh, it's always going to be fatally flawed. Even though I know it's not true, I get into that magical thinking sometimes.
But I think none of them ever say that it's never going to work out. It just says these are your core problems, and with all my relationships, those have been the core problems.
See, with all my relationships, there's always many, many, many core problems.
Yeah, me too.
So, but the astrology just gives you a focal point.
Like, I've never been with someone who's a Cancer or a Scorpio, or who's the other one? Aquarius?
Yeah,
Pisces.
I have a lot of girlfriends that are Scorpios. Like Allison's a Scorpio. My friend Lara's a Scorpio. We had this girl Beth who was a Scorpio. She ended up kind of going off the rails, like Scorpio sometimes do.
Like everyone does, I guess.
Yeah. Pisces, though, I really work well with creatively. So if you're out there listening and you're a Pisces, and you want to work creatively together, that usually works.
I had one friend who was Pisces, but like, you know, you look for those people. Like, I'm always wanting to meet people who are within those compatibility signs. So Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer, and it just never works out with any of them. Like the Scorpios, it's a bit too high intensity, too much friction, and then I can't seem to find Pisces or Cancers no matter where I go. If you're a Cancer or Pisces,
and you like medium to firm tongue pressure and creative engagements,
if
you have a ball jacuzzi.
If you just like, I don't know. I'm okay. So I'm sort of seeing someone at the moment.
This is not the astrology person?
No. That guy. Like after the second date, he was like, "So when are we catching up next?" And I was like, and he was like, "If you don't want this, you know, just tell me if you don't want this."
Oh my god,
and
no.
I was like, "Oh my god."
Next, yeah.
And then he's like, "What?" And I was like, "Look, like if I'm being totally honest, and I probably shouldn't have done this, but I'm like, if I'm being totally honest, there are a few orange flags for me."
Did you say it like that?
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
Like he was like, "Are you into this or not?"
And he's like, well, orange is actually the color of my like abdominal chakra, and so the fact that you're mentioning, no,
exactly. No, but he was like, "Orange flags." Well, I have orange flags too, and I was like, "Okay, dude, cool." But you know, I'm just saying, like, you're asking me if I'm into this, and I'm saying, "Am I really into this?" No. But like, but you know, there are a couple of orange flags, but I'd be interested to meet you again and give this a try. And he's like, "What are the orange flags?" And I'm like, "You really want to do this?"
Oh no.
And there were orange flags. Yeah, there were
the
things.
fact that he's so urgent about knowing what his orange flags are is an orange flag, in my opinion.
Also, like pushing me, asking if I'm even into this. It's like, give me some space, dude. Do you know how busy I am? Like, I wrote back to you. I'm saying I'm into it. Why are you needing to like put so much pressure on this right now?
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
Have you seen someone else?
Yeah. That was a while ago. That guy was like, I don't know, a month ago or something.
Crazy.
Bust babe with your boots on, kicking the table.
Oh yeah, I could kick this table right over.
You really could.
Thank you.
This guy that I'm seeing, I met at a club. You know, always bodes well when you have nothing, no crossovers naturally. Yeah.
Well, kind of. We have different interests, different perspectives. You know.
He's 10 years younger than me, though.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He's from Iran.
Okay.
Which is really interesting. He's been here only for 2 years. He's a student. He lives in a dorm room.
No.
His sister also lives here, and he lives there half the time.
Have you gone to the dorm room? See, that would be fun for like a couple weeks just to fuck loudly in the dorm room and like be like, "Can you bring me to the dining hall?"
Yeah, right.
Like that would be. Awesome.
He took me to his sister's place, and I'm like, "Are you sure it's cool with your sister?" And he's just like, "Yeah, she's on holiday." I'm like, "Yeah, but is she cool with us sleeping in her bed?" He's like, "It's my apartment too," and I'm like, "Okay, let's do it." And you know, it was nice, but I just felt like, you know, he sleeps on the couch when she's there, so it's like, and that's not his own room.
Oh my god, yeah.
And he's like, "You're making me feel so embarrassed," and I'm like, Your situation is making you feel embarrassed.
Yeah, exactly.
You're courting a someone who's 10 years older than you.
Yeah,
like,
he's way too young for you, but it could be fun as long as it doesn't get too intense.
Yeah, it's like kind of texting every day, just seeing how I am and wanting to meet me all the time. And I'm like, it's so nice. Like after the drought of warmth that I've had, like every guy that I've seen has been so, keeping a bit of distance, and which is fine.
Right.
But which, I actually need that. But just, I really haven't anyone really want me, been hungry for me.
Right. You need someone with their own independent life and stuff, but who can actually show kindness and caring.
Yes.
That's what I like about this like new situation. And granted, it's like super new, but it's like just like he will reach out and he will say when he is busy. There are no mysteries there. It's like, that's cool.
That's nice.
That's amazing. Like,
that's really
how's
good.
your day? Like simple as like, what? How long has that been since someone actually really that's great. Other than my friends, I have friends that do that. I have male friends that do that even. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah. I'd say my friends don't reach out that often to see how I'm doing. But that's because that's the kind of communication I establish as well. Like,
right.
I'm much more of a like, hey, what are you doing? Let's get a drink, and then we talk.
Right. Which is good too. People need that in-person contact. Yeah. But it's nice. It's nice just to be like, oh, they care a little.
Checking in. Yeah. And it is really nice. And also this guy, like, he really loves my comedy. He's come to a bunch of my shows and he's, super supportive and he laughs at my jokes. He has expressed interest in doing comedy.
Ooh, that's an orange flag bordering on red.
Yeah. And that came up real quick. And I was just like, oh. And he's like, yeah, in Iran, like I used to,
Oh, no.
Be at a cafe and it would be like kind of more of an impromptu thing. But I would, tell stories with my friends and they would laugh. And I was like,
oh, no.
I was like, that's great. Like, this Sunday
start with your Uber driver.
No, I went like, check out comedyinenglish.de.
Yeah, exactly. Don't take that on because that's you don't need to take that on.
No, exactly. Yeah. But it's like, whoa. But there's no way he can start doing comedy. Like he's on a artist visa. He's a student.
Yeah.
He can't do that. He can't do that yet.
Oh, man.
But anyway, that's what's happening, and there's communication issues as well because I'd say his English is good, but sometimes his German is better than his English. And so,
I like him when the English is not their first language.
Yeah.
It sounds really horrible. I'll be like, I watch some like Instagram posts. I'm like, I don't know what you're saying, but it sounds beautiful. There's less stuff going back and forth. It's just like nice normal.
The conversation just becomes so reduced because I know that there's certain there's like intellectual debates. It's not that he's not intellectual, but it's like being able to really get into the nitty gritty about stuff and really arguing something is just going to be so painful.
Yeah, exactly.
With the language,
which I actually really appreciate because I'm realizing
really this is the main reason why I think it's not going to work.
Well, I mean, you needed a certain baseline. Like I remember I met someone who German was our common language, which if you've heard my German, it's schlecht at best. So we couldn't even talk. I was like, hey, look, a duck. And I'm trying to remember the word for duck because we're going on a walk. Like that's not going to fucking work. No. But with this situation, I feel like what I'm learning about myself is that I don't need someone to be super engaged, intellectually and emotionally. Like I don't need that same level from every person in my life, where it's like I have a lot of women in my life and a lot of guy friends in my life that I have that with. So this can be whatever. This can be company and sex and other things that, learning about it. Yeah, I don't actually need all of that from one person. This is what I'm saying now. Who knows? You know what I mean?
Let's see how greedy we get.
Right, exactly. But I'm trying to remind myself of that, where it's like,
I think like what I'm experiencing right now is like, all of these things that I haven't had for so long. Like someone who really wants to see me. He's like, I could see you every day. And I'm like, I need space.
Right.
And, but then there's a part of me that's like, the last kind of little thing that I had showed me how much I am turned on by and how much I really want to be stimulated intellectually in my romantic dynamic.
I do like that, but I think the warmth is more important. I mean, you want both, right? But I really relate with what you were saying about like someone just like being warm to you, because like that's actually really hot. If you're out there and you're a guy who's an avoidant or cold, that actually doesn't turn us on.
Right.
Being warm actually does, and that's very different than being needy, because I hate needy energy. I've dated some pushovers, like fuck that. But being warm when you're present, and then saying, hey, I'm busy when I'm busy, being a boss guy, and then reaching out and saying, how are you when you have time? Oh, so fucking hot.
Yeah, I agree.
So hot.
I agree. I want that, and then I want to be able to just really like I love arguing. Like I've annoyed many people, that are not my friends.
Yeah.
By being me and enjoying a good debate. Like usually I just don't talk that much with people that I don't give my time to people that aren't already kind of like as in like I know that it can trigger people how argumentative I can be and how much I enjoy debating things.
Right.
But to be able to debate with someone and them to enjoy it too, like with this guy. One of his common phrases will be "Temavexin," which is "let's change the subject."
Oh no!
And I'm like, but I'm not finished talking about the benefits of uncircumcised penises.
I was like, what would you debate with this guy about? Like, what would be your common language? Like, what would you common topics?
Common topics?
Yeah.
I was going to say the common language. It moves between German and English because there are points where he.
Right.
Yeah, and yeah. But the common topics. Well, like I started talking about female circumcision the other day, and then that moved because he's like, in Iran, like women's rights are fucked. Like it's super fucked to be an Iranian woman. Right. I'm like, try being a black woman in Africa, in a country where female circumcision is, and I'm doing this like fun debate thing, not fun for him, because now I'm talking about female circumcision, and then I jumped it to normal circumcision because I was like, maybe he's not enjoying the feminism element too much. And then
you need someone who can push back a little bit and like you can go and have like a heated argument about a topic. That makes sense. I actually sometimes hate that part. I hate having a heated argument about something that I find really important. I do want to be able to have someone strong enough to fight with me if I'm upset about a thing in a relationship. I think this is all hypothetical because I haven't really been in one in a long time, but I do think I would need to be able to release the energy somehow and fight about it and then be mature and come back and talk it out. But when it's like an argument about something like political or hot topic, or I don't know, I think I would probably just get very annoyed.
Well, the thing is, the last little thing that I had in January that kind of like broke my heart a little bit when he just clarified that he only wanted something casual. The thing is, we could argue about topics that were very sensitive to me, like historically would trigger me, but he would say all these like very triggering things, but I would be able to be present and like discuss it with him, and it would never become personal. It would never become, problematic. And that was, being able to argue or discuss things intellectually and it not become a personal attack. That's something I need in the dynamic.
That's cool. Cool.
Yeah.
I think my first boyfriend in Minneapolis was really into that. He was really into those debates, and I think it drove me crazy.
See, and that's the thing. It's not for everybody.
It's not for everyone, I
know, for example, this guy that I was seeing in January would piss off so many women, right? And I know that, I think Bruno wanted to come and use the tables at the front. He said he would come at 4, and now he's coming at 10 to 5.
Really? Okay.
Working on Peruvian time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to then, I guess, let him in. So let me just put this down.
And I'll talk to the audience. We can cut this.
Yeah. What's on your mind, Tara?
We're still running this, aren't we? Yeah. Okay. Well, you have me in a unique position, dear audience, where we're alone together. This isn't live, but if this was, this would be the point where I would take questions from the audience, but we can't. So good thing Anna's back. I would tell you anything though, just so you know.
What did you say, Tara? What did you say?
Nothing yet. You didn't miss a thing. But I was saying, like, if we had like one of these on like live streams on Insta Live, or people could type in questions, I would answer them.
I would love to do that.
We should do an Insta Live sometime. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Because Adults Only has Insta, right? So then you can join so it would be 2 people in, and we can take questions, and I think that would be fun.
It'd just be like the tech setting that kind of stuff up. I'm always like, well, what's the best way to do it? It's not that hard.
No, you just do it on your phone. It's actually less complicated than this setup, I think.
Yeah. Although, because it'd just be you wouldn't be recording it for preservation purposes.
It would be on your Insta,
Yeah.
They would own you.
Be done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do it sometime.
Okay. Cool.
When we co-produce a show.
Yeah. Think about your questions, people, that you've always wanted to ask Anna or myself.
No one's gonna think about it.
We can only hope.
We can. Did you have so I remember last time we had a great conversation about your dildo that you fucked the floor. That was one of my favorite comments.
Oh, fucking the floor. Yeah, I've gotten lazier now. I haven't actually gone onto the floor, primarily because my neighbors downstairs You know, I have complained so hard about them. And then if I go and I fuck their floor, it's like rude, maybe also kind of gratifying. But, you know, you could do it on top of the loft, but I've become a little bit lazier. But I do enjoy I forget what the really deep, penetrative area is. It's
I think it's the A spot, right?
The A spot, yeah. There's a lot of nice A spot action, and I was really missing that. It really hits the A spot.
Yeah, the A spot's a good one.
Oh, it's like my favorite.
Yeah, it's up there. Like it takes more effort to reach it, so you know it's especially it's like a once every 2 weeks maybe.
I make more noise when I hit my A spot after when I orgasm. Like sometimes I'm pretty like if I'm not with someone for some reason sometimes I'm pretty quiet. When I'm with someone I'm not quiet. But even if I'm with myself and I hit my A spot, I am not quiet because I can't be. It's a nice thing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I realized that I started using my. I've always been against vibrators because I feel like they're vibrators. They're too intense, right?
They're too intense. They're annoying. They sound like they're
super loud.
Fucking hate them. Too.
However, since I've realized I've started experimenting with my vibrator a bit more, and I realized that I will masturbate more often if I can just hold this thing there and like, you know, play around with the pressure. But so like it's more of like it's enabling me to feel more sexual.
Gets
with
you going.
Less effort.
Yeah.
Like if I'm gonna have to use my hand, like you know, rub myself the whole time, I'm like, whoa.
That's too much.
Just have a nap instead, you know.
Right. There are times where it's like I'm so fucking busy right now between work and producing all these shows where I have to decide: do I rub one out? Do I eat? Do I shower? Or do I exercise? And I can only pick 2 out of the 4, or take a nap. There's a 5th one. I can only pick 2.
Yeah.
You know how stressful that is. So either show up to the gig like slightly horny, slightly hungry, or tired.
Yeah.
It's like. Usually clean, but sometimes not clean. Sometimes like, oh, great, I'm not horny anymore, but I'm not clean. And I've worked out, so, you know, great. Then I need my ball jacuzzi before I...
ball jacuzzi. I think that might be the title of the...
Yeah, ball jacuzzi.
Ball jacuzzi.
I hate having to pick, you know, it's just...
When I worked at home office, when I was teaching English online, and so I'd have like 5 minutes between classes. What you can get done.
That's amazing. You're like, hey kids, I do enjoy like
they were never children. Okay, I only taught adults.
Oh, so that's better. You're like screen off, screen open. Ooh, hey, that's really funny. I do enjoy showing up to a work meeting having just crawled down from my loft bed after wanking one out. I do really enjoy that.
Right?
Oh, it's such a nice feeling. I was like, how you doing? Oh, I'm fine.
I'm great.
I'm great. It's great. Work from home's great.
Life is fantastic.
Yeah. Take those little breaks in the day. That's nice.
Yeah.
You couldn't do that before. What did people do? Did they jack off in office bathrooms, do you think?
Oh,
or were they
that.
just angry? People were just upset.
I think people jacked off in office bathrooms. Yes, people that needed to, people that wanted to.
Yeah.
You know, I think that was done.
That's an interesting question because I don't know. Have you worked at an office?
Many.
Okay. Did you do that? Okay.
Yeah. Only at one job where I was particularly unstimulated.
Okay.
And I'd be like,
what am I gonna do with this day?
Yeah, seriously. I'm like, well, I did that, and I did that. Like, I could do some online shopping, I guess, but I'll just go to the bathroom.
That's really great. I wonder how common that is. I wonder how common that is for women in office bathrooms. Again, this is like a whole new world, right? We have work from home, but before that, did women actually masturbate in office bathrooms?
Yeah, like I can only speak for myself. I know that men did.
Yes. Okay.
I assume women did as well.
Yeah.
The shame was pretty sexy, you know? That's definitely what was part of it. Like the idea of like if someone caught me masturbating in that toilet, ew. And also the, you know, like your position in the company and who you're associated with, like office hierarchies and like the social kind of atmosphere, like not social but the hierarchy within it is very
if you had some like badass woman boss, maybe it would be like, oh man, she's fucking cool. You know? We have this room in our office called the yellow room where it's like full of like you're supposed to do yoga or take a nap or something, but there's this big yellow swing. It totally looks looks like a sex swing. And like I don't know if anyone's used it for that, but it's like the soft yellow carpeting and this beautiful like poofy bean bags and like the swing, and it totally looks like
a sex room.
So it's like a sex room, and it's bright yellow, so you get really stimulated when you walk in. You feel like very safe and warm, but also stimulated. It's like kind of the perfect environment for it, if I'm being honest. And maybe I should like at some point utilize that before, while I still have this job.
Definitely. Have you ever had sex at a workplace?
I was just trying to think about that. Like I was just trying to imagine if I have had sex at a workplace. I distinctly remember pushing a bartender behind a bar at a staff party, but that's nothing crazy. That's at like a
but
bar.
that's still
it's a
like
bar.
You fucked at a bar. You fucked on the bar.
No, we didn't actually fuck. I don't think. But I was just literally trying to remember that if I because I remember I worked at a yoga studio for a while. I'm like, and I was dating someone at the studio. I was like, we had to have maybe, at that studio, but I don't think I did.
No, I've done it many times.
Yeah.
And also at like partners works as well. Like
oh, that's great.
I was working at a clothing store in Berlin, and I fucked my boyfriend in the change room.
That's
and it was
lovely.
definitely like street facing. Like if you'd walk past, you maybe could have seen the shadows.
When the store was open?
No, I'd locked the door.
Okay, well that's nice.
Because I was the only one working in there. So
Right.
I locked the door.
That's super cool.
And then that shop moved to another location, and then my boyfriend at the time there, a different boyfriend, he was managing that shop, and then we fucked in that location's changing rooms as well. And then I had sex. I worked at a cocktail nightclub, a jazz nightclub, cocktail bar thing in Melbourne, and we had the love lounge, which was just begging for it. And if you hadn't fucked as a staff member in the love lounge, then you weren't doing your job properly.
Yeah, exactly.
So I had sex in the love lounge.
The love lounge.
And against the dumpster in the laneway behind the bar.
Nice.
Yeah, that's probably my proudest moment, like having sex against a dumpster.
Yeah.
That's just
because it's so desperate, which is like really hot. It's so desperate. Like we has to be here right now on this nasty fucking piece of shit.
Push me against this, like.
I mean, the desperation factor is really great.
That's super hot.
That.
Yeah, that's because we weren't really supposed to be seeing each other.
Nice. I remember fucking on a boat once, and it was like with someone who was like, he was so hot, but the chemistry just wasn't working. And then I was laughing because there's this desperation factor about like, we need to fuck now in this dumpster, blah, blah. I was like, the only time we really fucked hot was when we were trapped together on a boat.
Yeah. And like, what was the boat situation? Like, what kind of boat are we talking about?
Like a speedboat, but it was parked.
Speedboat. Oh.
Yeah, it was definitely in the open. Other boaters could have seen us, and we just he kept this like top off shirt, and I just tucked on in there. It was actually really, really nice.
Daytime, nighttime?
Daytime. Bright daytime.
Bright daytime. In the harbor?
No, on the water.
On the water.
There are other boats sort of nearby, but not that nearby. We were in like the middle of the open water.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of hot.
That's super hot. I would love to fuck on a boat. I haven't fucked on a boat. I'm trying to rack my brain to make sure, but I haven't.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on the boat, right? Because like canoe, yacht, maybe
canoe.
That's just saying, like, I wouldn't probably want to do that. Yeah, no, this was like the smallest boat I'd want to fuck in. It was like a little speedboat sort of situation.
I'm fucking a dinghy.
Fucking a dinghy.
A dinghy. That's the name of my second album. I'd fucking a dinghy. No.
Yeah.
It's dinghy is just such a great sounding word. Like,
it's a perfect word. I don't actually know the logistics of the boat situation, but I already support it based on the word.
Yeah. I also fucked in a restaurant, like another boyfriend's work, and they had security cameras, and I was like, I bet the owner is going to see this.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun also because I really didn't like the owner. Mm-hmm. Like I worked at the competing cafe across the laneway from my boyfriend, and the cafes hated each other, but like we were like this, star-crossed lovers between the cafes.
Oh, that's amazing. Man, the service industry is so fun for that type of shit. Like the pettiness and the cliques and like the love triangles.
Feuds.
Oh, the feuds. Yeah. There was like one little area near the University of Minnesota, one block, that at different points in my life I had worked at like 3 places there. Yeah. Like I'd worked at the cool hip cafe called the Purple Onion, where You used to be able to
course it's called
smoke the purple onion. Yeah, the coffee, and there used to be open mics. And then I worked at the Loring Pasta Bar, which is a like fancy place with, you know, dressed with a sense of occasion, where the owner turned out to be like a pedophile who like fled to Mexico and to so crazy. All these like fancy theater people, and then it became like just hot people worked there, and it was just it had this crazy aesthetic, melted candlesticks everywhere, the whole 9 yards. A lot of sexual tension in that place, let me tell you.
Yeah.
There's a couple coworkers that I think I would have, or well, one in particular that I probably would have fucked, but it didn't work out that way.
Yeah.
But a lot of sexual tension. I mean, everyone's dressing hot. Like I could wear this there, but you know, you could definitely wear like very short skirts. It was encouraged, so that it was just in the air all the time.
Yeah, that was like the cocktail bar, jazz nightclub that I worked at. It was just like, woo, so much. Well, I definitely got my worked my way through the staff there.
Nice. I worked my way through the bowling alley staff. How nasty is that? I never fucked at the cafe.
The bowling alley.
Four, and I tried to remember who. One was like fucking kitchen dude. Like, why, Tara? Why?
Right before I left Melbourne, I was the manager at this Japanese restaurant, and you know those parties, you know back when you weren't sober, those parties, and basically like the last guy, because you're the last person that usually stay, like the guy that can, you know, stay. Like keep up with you is probably the guy that you're gonna fuck, just because he's the last one that's there. So I fucked this dishwasher.
Nice.
This 21-year-old
nice
Korean dishwasher. Doesn't matter that he's Korean.
Yeah.
He was really cool, but he was like just 21.
Oh no.
Yeah. Ooh. And it was like I was his manager.
You're like, if you want to keep your job. But apparently he can keep up with you drinking. He's just 21.
Yeah. He could.
Wow.
I think he was drinking less than me. It was my farewell, and I was just like, ah.
That's amazing.
But
how did he respond to it? Like you hitting on him?
Oh, no, it was him hitting on me, and me just
amazing.
being at that point of drunk apathy that I was like, look, you're the last one here. Let's just go to my bedroom. It's fine.
Wow.
Yeah. But he was the only person that I had sex with at that job. But yeah, that cocktail bar, it was like, there were like,
that's
I think there were
impressive.
3.
Because like you always hear like fucking your manager, your coworker. I went kitchen staff, you went dishwasher girl. Like that's pretty good for you.
I did like bartender. Yeah. The thing was, I was married the whole time I worked at that restaurant.
Okay.
And so then I left my husband. Everyone was like, whoa, she left her husband. And then like my last little like hurrah goodbye was to fuck the youngest.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Weirdest dude. And he was
Good
so
for
weird.
you.
I loved him, but he was such a weird dude.
Yeah, this kitchen guy was just like really hot. He had tattoos all over his body. He was so ripped. He used to be like a volleyball player, and he had like nice piercings, and he was so fucking hot. And I was like, oh man, finally I found this thing. And I was like, I kind of wanted to fuck him again because it was nice. And then there was someone that he was like in love with, another server who was way cooler and had like also the piercing and the tattoos. And I was like, okay, these like beautiful tattoo people obviously should be together. You know, whatever, that's fine. You know, and then they decided to, and then they ended up like moving together, and he became like a grown baby man, and she ended up throwing him out at one point. And I was like, see, I knew it. Like I was just there for like I thought it would be a nice hookup, but
that's great. You won there.
I won in that situation. Yeah. Strangely enough though, like years later, he sent me an apology text. Because I think he believed he broke my heart. And I was like, no. I just wanted to hook up against her. But that was kind of you. You know, he was doing like a reparation sort of thing. During the pandemic, I was like, there's really no need. You just had a crush on someone around the time we fucked. That's fine.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
No one's ever sent me a reparation.
I was very confused by it. Like I'm just like, are you doing like your steps or like,
yeah,
or is this just like some weird pandemic thing? It's like, oh, I shouldn't have treated you that way. I was like, I actually wasn't in love with you. I really liked your body and your dick, but and that did kind of suck. It kind of hurt to be rejected. It always hurts to be rejected.
It always hurts to be rejected.
But I was fine with it, and the situation played out as it needed to do, and they probably have had a great cycle of learning in their relationship.
Very, very diplomatic.
Yeah, exactly. And then I fucked this bowler.
Yeah. So you fucked kitchen staff and then like actual bowlers.
A bowler guy. Yeah,
One
like
bowler
bowler guy. And he had like very like thick, short.
Is this the penis?
This was the penis.
So chody.
Yeah, really big chody. And it was amazing.
How thick are we talking?
I don't know. I think it might have been like this.
Okay.
I don't know.
And then like similar height as the width.
No,
that's the definition of a chode.
Okay,
right?
so it's probably properly chode, but
So
it
a
was
little bit
shorter.
bigger.
Yeah, yeah.
Short and
but
really
it was
fat.
it was really nice. And I had just gotten sober then, so I don't know if anyone else has experienced getting sober. You're so horny when you stop drinking. It's just like an adjustment of chemicals.
reckon?
I think it was. I was insatiable. It was crazy. I was having these crazy hormone flashes. And so.
Interesting. I would put that down to just because alcohol isn't allowing the expression of, wild debaucherous activity.
Right.
You're just more aware of the fact that you're horny because you're not having this outlet.
Although I wasn't really wild and debaucherous when I was drinking. So maybe I was just aware of like.
I don't believe you, Tara.
You don't believe me. I like that you don't believe me, but I was kind of lame. Like I don't think I was that debaucherous. Like I was debaucherous in these very small chunks of time with like certain people, but I was never like go to a party and hook up with some rando. Like that wasn't me.
No?
Nah, I don't really know why. It just never was my thing. I would work my shift. I would have a couple gin and tonics, hang out with the people, and then go home mostly. And
interesting.
Yeah.
Because I really have this idea of you that, not sober Tara was a terror.
I was for like, I think a period of like 6 months. I was really messy, but that was like messy in all ways.
Okay.
As
Not like,
well
not
as
just
like
slutty, just
slutty as well. Like my boss came over and we fucked like 10 times or something in one night. Like that was insane. That was insane. But I was messy in all kinds of ways. I had a mattress on the floor at the point.
Hey, I had that for like 5 years, all right?
Yeah.
I don't see that as a...
Yeah, you're like, don't knock it. No, but I was supposed to be like finishing grad school, but my life was just like, I lost all capacity to like deal with anything in my life. Like with the exception of like barely making it to work. It was just like a really rough point. And at that time I was very slutty. But I remember like being like surprised to see that he was here, because I'd remember going out for drinks with him, and there was
the manager.
The manager.
Yeah.
He had actually taken my job because of some weird bout of sexism. Ended up anyway, it doesn't matter. He did a lot of he was a good manager, but I was kind of relieved to have it off my hands. But it was so strange. I don't even want to get into those dynamics. But anyway, there was always a chemistry there.
Yeah.
But he was a friend of mine, and I don't think I would have fucked him under normal conditions. He kept breaking up with this girl and then going back with her, and then in between he would fuck someone else and then go back with her. It just wasn't a situation I necessarily needed, but we went out for drinks, and then I remember coming to and being like, oh, he's in my bed. Well, here we go. And then we just and apparently we had already fucked, but then we fucked more.
I love that.
It was so trashy. This was like the trashiest part of my life. Like not even like slutty for fun, but trashy. But the rest of my young adult life, I was doing theater shows. I was working hard, trying to save money. I moved out to California. Most nights I would literally I would finish my shifts, have my cocktails, say hi to the bartenders next door that I was friends with, and go home for the most part.
Okay. All right.
I know, right?
That's a more... Like I would say, yeah, okay,
yeah,
that's good to hear. I like and interesting, and yeah. I feel like my sluttiness is like when I'm drinking, it'll be like I get on a mission. Historically, when I was drinking, I would get on a mission and be like, "Who am I fucking tonight?"
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
it's
and
just like,
yeah, and it'll be like going through my phone, and be like checking the bar, going to another bar, figuring it out, and kind of like a bit of a, I guess, a masculine stereotype.
Yeah,
a bit of a player.
I mean, it sounds kind of fun.
It is fun.
Yeah.
It has been.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in my as I've matured, and since I've been back consuming substances, I'll have, as I've gotten older, I check myself and I'm like, oh, okay, that's what's playing out right now.
Okay.
What do you need right now, Anna? Like,
so you're trying to evolve from that for some reason.
I have evolved from that.
Okay.
For sure.
Because you said like, what do you need? It was like meeting a need for you?
Yeah, it was definitely like filling the void in the most literal and figurative way.
Right.
Yeah.
Filling the emotional void, or filling the I feel wanted void, or
the feeling wanted, I guess. Yeah. By being filled. And but yeah, that's something that I definitely was doing more. That was more like my early 20s,
right,
mid 20s. But I can go through waves of it, and
I will sometimes, like, I think what I used to do is I would pick them out and like let it build for a few months, like a Scorpio, like the coffee shop barista.
Yeah, like I have my like subconscious eyes on a few people.
That's cool.
But it doesn't mean that I'm gonna like actively seek them, but
Right.
I'm aware that I don't know. I'm starting to wonder if and I think I've said this a few times recently. I'm starting to wonder if I could be monogamous and if I could have a monogamous relationship again.
So on some hand, you don't want to play the game to fill the void. On the other hand, it feels like a natural part of you that like is like a seeker and
yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm just very flirty and very like I always want something new and different.
Yeah. And if it's consensual and fun, you know, if it's not harming, if it's not keeping you away from meeting your other needs, you know, like
exactly. But that said, like I love variety, but I also really love depth in a relationship and be able to trust someone and, you know, all these things. I just haven't met someone where that's possible.
Where you can have both.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally. Yeah.
So.
Well, I hope you find the right person for that, because that feels very feasible and awesome and desirable.
Well, according to my astrological chart...
I'm just kidding.
What was that?
Maybe she's right here. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
No, maybe.
We can both fuck other people. It's fine.
You know how sometimes you're like, is the right person for me right in front of my face and I've just been ignoring them?
Yes. Just kidding. Just kidding.
I loved it though.
No, I've never thought that.
No, you've never thought that. I've sometimes have those moments of like, am I just prejudiced against this person that's like really there and could
clearly Bruno.
No,
I'm just kidding.
He's got a girl.
I know.
And even so,
but no, no, I've never thought that.
Okay, I have moments where I'm like, is this a person I should consider? And I've just been, you know, close to?
No, because like I have a lot of male friends that are very sweet and kind, and I go for the shallow stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Sexual attraction.
Me too. I know if I have chemistry with someone.
Yeah.
But it's there's also that subconscious question of, is the chemistry always just based on like wounding and the fact that it's going to be just
often
plain out?
Yeah, holy shit.
And maybe it's not a good person because of the like. Maybe chemistry is actually if I have chemistry with someone, that's who I should avoid, and I should be looking to be with someone who I don't have chemistry with.
I think there's levels. Like I want like a nice medium level of like chemistry. I want it to feel like a jacuzzi level of, you know,
like a ball jacuzzi.
Like a ball jacuzzi. Claiming that just in case you needed it hit over the head again. That's how I deliver punchlines. Okay, no, it's it's an evolution. I'm gonna tell some stories tonight. It'll be great. I'm gonna try new stuff. I'm just gonna tell. We'll start heavy. We'll just boom. Oh, yeah. Great. So we'll hit them over the head with the punchy, and then we'll tell stories. It'll feel like story hour, and I'll feel if there's anything there. Then we'll squirt on their faces. Yeah. No, I'm trying to evolve. I'm trying to be more personal and vulnerable with my comedy. This is another conversation. What we're talking about the if anyone's in front a medium level of chemistry where it's like it's there, yet you can have some like intensity, but it's not insane.
Exactly.
You know, the insane stuff has got to go, and if there's nothing else there but that, I won't fuck with that, because I know I'll get knocked off kilter, you know, unless it's, you know, maybe just like a one-time thing. But again, that hasn't happened in a while.
Yeah. But my astrological, you know, my horoscope for 2022 is that like 2020 and 2021 were like, everything's going to be so great, but you're going to be very alone. You know, like no love for you. And then 2022 is like, shit's going to go well. And then you're going to meet an extraordinary love.
Ooh.
Towards the end of the year. And I'm like, okay.
Wait, is that for all Scorpios?
Yeah.
Oh, shut up. I'm so excited now.
I know, we're going to find the person.
Do you have to have hope? Here's a question, because like I have come to a point in my life, maybe several years ago. I mean, I was like ready like a long time ago to have like a deeper relationship. Who knows if I fucking was. But now I've come to the point where I've really let go of that idea and realized that I might just be alone. And so do I have to believe somewhere in the depths of my heart that someone could love me and want to be with me, and me the same? Do I actually have to have that hope in order for it to happen, or can it like surprise you? This is a philosophical question.
Yeah, I think often when you lose hope is when it surprises you.
Right. Well, I definitely don't have hope, but I am having more fun this year, and I'm a lot more open.
Yeah, the hope thing. I think, you know, in terms of Buddhism, hope is not so useful, you know.
Right.
But just being happy with the present and whatever.
Right.
And like knowing that you're, you know, full of greatness, and you love yourself and being grateful.
Yeah, I've been practicing. Yeah, I had like a bit. Yeah, I was practicing gratitude earlier today because I got into my head about some negative thinking, all about myself.
Me too.
But
I was really negatively thinking this morning, and then I was like, "Hey, Anna, you give this advice to everyone else else. How about you only compare yourself to where you were at yesterday? And
right.
I was very angry with myself because I was just like, why am I comparing myself to others?
So much better than I was a year ago. But then sometimes when you feel like you take a slight step back, you're like, oh man. But then you're like, oh, but I'm working my edge curve, so like it's a good thing. But like, God damn it, Tara, like you should just be awesome all the time. And it's like, that's not realistic because then you don't fucking grow.
Exactly.
So nice self-talk. Yeah. I mean, my friends will just tell me to do that and I'll be like, how about not? Like, but I'm glad you think that.
Yeah, I think I like, my mom's always like, have hope, Anna. And I'm like, hope can get fucked. I don't agree with hope as a thing. Of course, you know, we can argue it philosophically, but I think really just being present and enjoying where you're at now, you know, you can die in the next, you know, half an hour or so.
Did we talk about this last podcast that everything switched when I really embraced where I was? And like, this is when I was still working at that bowling alley. And I really... You really just had a lot of gratitude for all the bowling dick I was getting. No, I felt like I started to love my job, even though it was just like, I was wiping up tables and people were drinking a lot. You know, it wasn't glamorous, but it was because I made it fun and I was full of gratitude, and it changed everything. And I need to remind myself of that periodically because I've come so far, even since I've moved here, and yet I still feel like I'm not where I want to be, and that is the death sentence.
Yeah, and you can't. And I look at my apartment, I'm just like, I need to do so many things. And I look at my comedy career, I'm just like, but it's, you know, it's all works in progress, and I'm enjoying the present. And it's like, stop getting ahead and
there's going to be new stresses.
And you're never going to get to the perfect point.
You're not going to.
Ever.
You have to have fun.
Have to be enjoying now.
The two people that are in the audience tonight are going to have I'm going to have so much fun with them.
Me too.
They're my favorite. I'm so grateful that they're going to be here.
I'm so grateful. All right, we've got to wrap it up so that I can pee and then do the door. Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
Absolutely.
for coming. It's been so lovely.
Yay!
Well, that has been Adults Only Comedy Berlin. Thank you so much.
It has been. Thank you. Yay.
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 Bye.
Okay, bye.